Here's the way the New York Times put it. Well, let me give you the encapsulation first. Mitch McConnell is encouraging judges, older judges in their 60s, 70s, 80s, federal judges, to get out. Go ahead and retire. Retire. So that Republicans can put in another entire crop of these right-wing fuckers who are in their 40s or 30s into federal judgeships, the right-wing Christian Nazis. So McConnell, well, here's how the Times reports it. Running out of federal court vacancies to fill, Senate Republicans have been quietly making overtures to sitting Republican-nominated judges who are eligible to retire to get the fuck out so they can be replaced while the Republican Party still holds the Senate and the White House. It just never stops, does it? These people are not interested in Lady Justice with the blindfold. We're not about justice anymore in this country. Not as long as these filthy fucking Republicans are in control. We're not about justice. We're not about decency and honor. We're not about that. We're about a form of Christian fascism and the suppression of women, the suppression of people of color, the dominance of these white, male, Christian Nazi fuckers, and Mitch McConnell and William Barr will do everything in their power. They lie, cheat, steal, fuck over the Constitution, tell America to eat shit while they go about this kind of stuff. And the coronavirus has been the greatest gift to Trump that he could possibly have wanted. Oh, I know we don't see it that way, do we? But look what's going on. The greatest political gift. Senator Mitch McConnell, Republican senator, who has used his position as majority leader to build a judicial confirmation juggernaut for President Trump over the past 3 years, has been personally reaching out to judges to sound them out on their plans and assure them that they would have a worthy successor if they just get the fuck out now. I add the curse words. It's not known how many judges were contacted or which of them McConnell had spoken to directly. One of McConnell's, Republican colleagues said others had also initiated outreach in an effort to heighten awareness among judges nominated by Presidents Reagan, George Bush, and George W. Bush that making the change now would be advantageous to these Christian Nazi white males. Unfucking real. Now, of course, this overt activity to try to get these aging judges to get the fuck out of town so McConnell and the Republicans can get some young blood in there, right? That'll be around for another 40 years. That effort to create these vacancies reflects the realization that Trump could lose the presidency and that Republicans could lose their majority in the Senate and therefore deprive this gangster son of a bitch in the White House of all these judicial nominations he can come up with if he wins a second term. If this son of a bitch wins a second term, as damaged as he has made this country, as damaged as he will leave us at the end of 4 years, if he gets 8 years, the damage will be, finally, irreparable. This is the kind of piece of shit that the framers tried to warn us against. But I don't think they realized how filthy and vile a subhuman like Trump could actually be, or that this Trump character could get help from America's fucking enemies to destroy this republic. Who was it? Adams? Jefferson? Warned against foreign alliances? He was talking about foreign alliances, excuse me, that might have had a positive aspect on the surface. The foreign alliances with Trump are to destroy the United States. Jesus Christ. I hope you are watching the HBO special that started last night, The Plot Against America, the last book that Philip Roth wrote. I read the book 2 years ago, 3 maybe. No, it was before Trump. I read it when it became apparent to, well, and not when it became apparent, but because it had become apparent to me that this drift toward fascism in this country, well, it has its roots in previous generations. It was proceeding in the 70s, 80s, and 90s at warp speed. And sure enough, if you read the book, The Plot Against America by Philip Roth, and if you don't have to, well, you've got time now probably, but if you watch the HBO special and realize that even though they're talking about Lindbergh and Hitler, and Lindbergh was a traitorous motherfucker, along with Henry Ford and E.I. DuPont and a whole bunch of American industrialists, but Lindbergh was an absolute fucking anti-American, pro-Nazi. He'd been given a special commendation by Hermann Goering, the top Nazi propaganda minister. Anyway, Mike Davis, a former nomination counsel for Senate Republicans, to help them pick the best Christian Nazi. He created the Article 3 project, Article 3 of the Constitution. That is a conservative, read Christian fascist judicial advocacy group. He said that he still expects Trump to win, but, quote, we have to hope for the best and plan for the worst, end quote. Planning for the worst to these cocksuckers means planning for the restoration of representative government, which we do not have now. Look what McConnell did with Obama's nominee to the Supreme Court. Who was it? Obama's nominee to the Supreme Court. Yeah. I can't think of it either. But the Gareth, I'm sorry. No. Oh, well. I know some of our brain trust people who are hearing this right now are shouting it at their device. Merrick Garland, thank you. I knew it had a gar in it somewhere. Look what McConnell did where it concerned Merrick Garland. Refused to even hold a hearing until this Gorsuch could be nominated with the appointment of Trump to be the president. And then the other one, this drunk fucking rapist who's now 2 rapists on the Supreme Court. One of them an actual rapist. The other one, Uncle Clarence, he was just a pretend rapist. He used to rape women with his words. We have to hope for the best and plan for the worst. Republicans are reminding the judges that it could be another 8 years, 2029, before they could leave under a Republican president, assuming that Democrats would win and win again. According to a tally by this neo-fascist group, the Article 3 Project, more than 90 judges nominated by the 3 previous Republican presidents are now either eligible or will become eligible this year to take what is known as senior status, which is a form of semi-retirement that enables their slots to be filled, even though they can still hear cases, hire clerks, and receive full pay. Isn't that sweet? Isn't that sweet? 28 of them, of the 90, are judges on the influential appeals courts, which have been a particular focus of the alliance between Trump and Senate Republicans. For example, one of them is this Judge Thomas Griffith, U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit. He announced earlier this month that he planned to retire in September, giving Trump the opportunity to make a third appointment to the powerful court in what will most likely be a contentious confirmation fight. Yeah, well, let's hope. Trump has already placed more than 50, think of this. Think of this. Would you have Trump appoint a fire department company to watch your house? Would you rely on Trump to appoint a constable to circulate among your neighborhood at 3 a.m. to look for crooks? No, you wouldn't. But the son of a bitch has put 50 appeals court judges on the bench during the past 3 years, more than a fourth of them on the appellate bench. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcast. You have your choice. You can listen to the ranting with the audio podcast or listen and watch me lose control with a video podcast subscription. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com. And never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.